Hey, I'm Primitive Tim, and today I'm going out on kind of a survival trip. The purpose of this trip is really just to show you guys how awesome nature is and how just kind of all of it works together and maintains kind of a fluctuating balance, if that makes sense. Of course, you can see the bridge right back there. That's where I launched. And right now I'm on the St. Johns River. However, I'm not gonna be hanging out on the St. Johns much longer. I'm going to be going up the Econlockhatchee River. Also, I don't have a whole lot that I'm bringing with me. All I'm bringing is, of course, all my camera gear. I'm on my kayak, and I'm bringing a pot and a knife and some persimmon leather, just in case like I can't get anything to eat. The sun's come out and it's just getting really hot, but I tell you what, there's like every kind of bird out here. You got herons, egret, there's some sandhill cranes over there, plovers, a lot of grackles, your American moorhens and your coots. We'll probably even see some pelicans out here. I mean, there's everything. Ibises, of course, some eagles, vultures. I mean, you got every kind of bird. If you're into birds, this would be the place to be, because I mean, they're just everywhere. All right, so all this back here, this is all what we call dog bane. And this actually might be perfect. Basically, it's a really light wood. And so you can peel off the bark, and this, basically the outer bark here is really fibrous. And so you can twist that up into cordage. So I'm gonna collect as much of that as I can. Did I ever tell anyone that I just kind of hate airboats? They're just loud, obnoxious. I just don't get it. I don't get airboats. They're not even that fast. So, like, what's the point? Fortunately, I'm gonna be getting up back into the river, back in the woods, where there's generally not so many airboats. But I mean, as you can hear this guy, it's a loud machine. I mean, you can hear them from miles away. And when they get close like this, it sounds like they're just right on top of you. It's ridiculous. All right, so this is a whole stand of cattails, and this is actually food right here. This is good stuff to have. So basically, the part that's edible is the root. So I'm gonna pull up a few of these just to kind of supplement my food source. So these things grow a lot like onions do. So they have layers, and you can just peel those off. It's the white starchy part in the middle that's edible. Now these have been growing kind of like a nasty little, just kind of a mud hole. And so I'm gonna cook these before I eat them. And just because I don't know what kind of gunk is in there. It's always a lot safer just to cook things. All right, so after quite a bit of paddling, I made it up into the woods. It was really nice. I like paddling in the woods, no wind. All right, so it's time for a break, and I found something really interesting back in this patch of woods. So we're gonna get some. And right up here behind me is a citrus tree. And more than likely the fruit is sour. However, it's still got all the same nutrients that any other orange would have. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but I've heard that Native Americans would steal orange trees from the white people that brought them over to Florida, and then they would plant them at random places in the woods. This could be a descendant of some of those trees. Otherwise, I don't really have an explanation of how it got out here, because all these oak trees, these are really old. I don't think there could have been a grove out here. That doesn't seem likely. So I've got 4 oranges now. I'd like more, but this tree is getting a little bit dangerous to climb. So I've got to weigh the risk right now. So I'll try to get a little bit higher. Also, this tree is covered, well, it's not covered, but it's got a lot of spines on it because it is a wild tree. Oh, spider webs. Yeah, a lot of these oranges are just out of reach. Alright, so I ended up getting 5 beautiful oranges. This is already getting my morale up pretty high, so I'm happy about this. Whoever put this tree here, thank you. So when I tossed this one down, it busted. So I'm gonna go ahead and eat it. Man, these look like really good oranges. I didn't even think about citrus when I was heading out here. So the main task for this evening is I have to get fire. If I don't get fire going, this is gonna be a really miserable night. It's actually gonna be pretty terrible, especially if there's mosquitoes too. I brought one match, and hopefully I don't have to use it. Holy crap, that is a big alligator. All right, so this is an old cedar tree that's died and fallen. So I'm gonna harvest some branches off of it for the hearth of my hand drill. The hand drill is a method of making fire by friction. So what I'm gonna do with this is I'm gonna whittle it out flat and see if I think it'll be good enough. All right, so dusk is about to hit and I found a good place to camp. But yeah, looks like a good spot. I'm camping here. All right, so I'm making some cordage here, just using the reverse twist. And I'm on the clock right now. I mean, the sun's going down. I have to get fire soon. So this cordage is gonna help me with that fire. All right, so here's my spindle and my little drill right here. And basically what's going on here is I build a cord and it's wrapped around here. I have this reinforced with more fibers. And so I made loops on the end. So I slipped those loops through the end here. So basically I can put pressure on it as I spin it. Do not think I have a coal yet. All right, so I've given up on friction fire. I've got one match in my pocket. I'm gonna have to use it. Now, if that doesn't work, this is gonna be a really terrible night because I keep breaking spindles. And so I'm gonna have to gather new spindles tomorrow, and I promise I'm gonna redeem myself on the friction fire on this trip, but not tonight. It's gonna have to be tomorrow, and I hate to say that, but it will be tomorrow. All right, so I got my fire going pretty good. I still can't relax just yet. I need to gather a lot of wood, and it's dark around here. So I'm just gonna be bumbling around until I find something dead. I was so close to not getting it lit, and that was really dumb of me, like absurdly dumb, because I had one match. Otherwise, you know, I'm just laying out here in the woods. Right, so I'd gathered some cattails earlier, so I'm just gonna inspect these. All right, I got a good bed of coals here. I'm gonna roast this thing. Now I placed firewood all around the fire because a lot of it's still damp. It's been on the ground. The ground's kind of damp, and so you just kind of pile it up around your fire, and so it'll be nice and dry when you need it. Now I chose a spot kind of back from the river, and it's actually over a little bit of a hill, so hopefully no one can see me. Certainly my fire isn't visible from the water, so if anyone does come back here, I shouldn't be very obvious. This is a perfect place to be. Just listen to all the sounds of nature. I love it. This is peaceful right here. All right, my cattail is pretty well roasted. That's pretty good roasted, I gotta say. And yeah, it does taste a little bit like a swamp, but hey, you gotta take the good with the bad, you know? Now you wanna get this out of pretty clean water. Otherwise, all the gunk that this stuff filters out will be in here. So you don't want there to be a lot of gunk in the water. Thanks for joining me on this episode, and watch me next week and see how the rest of this trip goes. A quick spoiler, otters. Just saying. So until next time, find a new way to appreciate nature.